All right, you top-ranking Christian filmmakers, listen up, because I know you watch my channel all the time, for sure, right? I have a pitch for you that I would like to share for a television series that I think will blow your socks off. Would you listen up? Okay, I'm just kidding, obviously, but I'm biking home right now from work, and you guys want to come on a ride with me and listen to my pitch? Maybe you can share it with your top-ranking, high-ranking Christian Hollywood producers. Maybe something can come of this. All right, let's get into it. So I just want to have a bit of fun, but I had this idea for a long time of a show that is severely lacking, a topic that's severely lacking in Christian circles, and that, of course, is on evangelism. So maybe a couple of years ago, I recommended this short series of shows. It's actually only 4 episodes long. It's called The Adventures of Roman and George. The Adventure of Roman and George, or Adventures, I'm not sure what it's called, Adventure or Adventures, but nevertheless, you can look it up on YouTube. I've actually only seen episodes 1 through 3. You used to be able to purchase them on Living Waters. Now, I'm kind of iffy about recommending that show now, even though it is a great show, especially that first episode is a very, very great concept that I would love to see made into an extended television series. The reason why I am iffy is because the main person, I think even the writer, the one who made that show, he fell away from the faith, to put it, lightly. He kind of walked away. Some stuff's going on. I used to talk to him on Facebook, actually. We didn't talk every day, but we did have a friendship online, and I talked to him quite a bit. He's actually the one that was responsible for me getting a hat from Ray Comfort himself. In 2015, they were unleashing their new version of the $1 Million Bill Gospel Tract. They put out this video. It's actually a really awesome video. How not to give out a $1 Million Bill Gospel Tract or something like that. It's no longer available, and it's probably because this person who I'm talking about was featured mainly in that video. He was the one who was kind of like the main actor in it. There's a hilarious video as they're promoting their new $1 Million Bill. And by the way, me and my kids are thinking about making a video similar to that, kind of in honor of Living Waters. And I can't wait. I've got a lot of ideas for that. But anyway, in that video, there's a part where the character is eating an onion, but his hat says, "I love garlic, I heart garlic." And I commented saying that, "Oh man, I love garlic, I wish I can get that hat." And then Living Waters responded saying, "Hey, email us your address and we'll send it to you." Well, time has passed and I was kind of not sure, was that really Living Waters? I think that was before they had like the blue check mark thing or whatever to confirm that was actually from them. But nevertheless, I talked to this guy, because he knows Ray Comfort, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll give Ray a call and talk to him," and he messaged him back, "What's your address?" And eventually it all worked out. They sent me that hat. Really awesome. The same hat in that thing. I'm gonna wear that hat when I make the other video that's similar. But anyway, so The Adventure of Roman and George. Check it out. It's basically a story about, I think Roman is the main character, and he's just starting out in evangelism. The show starts off very accurately and hilarious. There's a lot of humor in there. How he went to an evangelism meeting, nobody else was there except for him. He was the only person. Everyone else was in some kind of churchy sporting event or whatever. And that's how it starts. And he gets pumped up about evangelism. He wants to share the gospel. And adventure ensues, or misadventure, shall I say. So, with that as the backdrop, I was kind of joking around with my friend Luke. He's an evangelist friend of mine. We've gone out and done many outreaches together. Just pause here for actually a second. Isn't this just beautiful? Isn't God awesome? And I get to beautiful Lake Michigan right here on my ride home from work and my ride to work every day. I bike a lot during the summer. Every week I bike 93 miles. I got 88.7 right now. It's Saturday at the end of the day. About 93 miles, 7.77 miles one way, exactly. No joke about that. Anyway, so yeah, I love biking. Actually, last 2 Sundays ago, September 12th, I did 100 miles in Door County, the Door County Sentry. That's what this thing right here is for, the DDC, or DCC I should say. awesome bike ride, and I did another 95 miles to and from work, working 6 days that week, and I walked like 7 or 8 miles every day on my route. Anyway, I love this ride. I am blessed. I don't want to ever take it for granted. But anyway, so me and my friend Luke, we've been together since 2013 doing evangelism, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit lately these past couple of years for various reasons. Partly, and he works with me, we work together, and we've just been busy. Lots of work, little time off, and raising families and things like that. So I joked one time, I said, I told him about this show, Roman and George, and I'm like, it would be really awesome if there was a show, I'm not saying like us being in it, but what if there was like this show, it was called The Misadventure of Kurt and Luke, and it would be stories based on the things that we experience as we are out there sharing the gospel, because there's a lot of hilarity of things that happen, a lot of tear-jerking moments, a lot of drama. There's a lot that happens out there in the field. We don't do like, big stadium events or anything like that. We're just two normal guys from, Manitowoc, of all places. Just a small city, no big deal people, just passionate about the gospel, passionate about seeing souls saved, right? So, yeah, so there's a humor part of it, aspect to it, when you say misadventure, but there's still so much more. So what if we had a show, something like that? Guys, there is so much you can do with that. I was just thinking about that. There's a lot of things you can, rip from the adventure of Roman and George, but there's so much. Speak to people who are passionate about sharing the gospel. There are stories after stories, so many aspects. Okay, so the show can be, it doesn't have to be titled this. This is just an idea. The misadventure of insert name and insert name, and it can be about these two guys just starting out in evangelism. Maybe one's a little bit skeptical, like George is in that first episode of that show. Lots of hilarity, but lots of serious moments. Get good writers, make good characters, have a great story, get top talent to do this thing, to pull this off. I think there's something here. There's all kinds of dynamics you can explore. You can explore the dynamic with being a lone ranger. Like for me, being passionate about sharing the gospel. I've been a lone ranger even till today, 2021. I've been a Christian for 21 years, and there's still so many aspects of it, of just feeling alone. Of course I have Luke, I have other friends as well, but still, by and large, I am pretty alone in this. You have the entire church that doesn't really care much about the gospel, and there's that aspect of it. There's the aspect of your family. You're trying to navigate these waters, passionate about the gospel, but you can't neglect your family. So, it's going to be a show about not perfect people, but people who are navigating through this thing, and they make mistakes and trying to learn through that. So there's that aspect. There's aspects of, the nervousness and different ways to share the gospel and all the hilarious stories that can ensue, or the tear-jerking moments that ensue. And it could be a show about showing you how to share the gospel. Get good reformed. This is where I kind of stand. Get good reformed Bible preachers in on this, and on the creative side of things, to really get the meat of the gospel in there. Maybe the folks behind American Gospel or some other people I'd love to see. Their style of preaching in. Get the gospel good in this show. Not to, preach to the choir, but to show the choir, the Christians watching this, how to share the gospel. Start out real simple and make it relatable. This is the most important thing. Make it relatable to the people who are watching. It's not going to be some, Billy Graham type of character who's at these big stadium events. No, it's going to be the nobody like me or Luke or, the rest of us. The nobody, and it'll follow them always being basically a nobody throughout the series, depending on where you want to go with the show. there's just so much. I was thinking about so many ways you can take the show, so many aspects you can show. The hilarity of different things. I'm thinking of some things right now for me and Luke, the things that we've been through, some funny stuff, or the tear-jerking moments. We're out in the Appleton Bar Outreach and sharing with somebody. Luke was sharing with somebody, Elizabeth, I think her name was, and she was like seriously ready to die, being overdosed on drugs, but the boyfriend was making her stay in that position of being on drugs. And it just gets you. Some of these things that we see out there in the field, it just gets you. There is so much there. Oh man, yeah. But again, that aspect of raising a family as well, the church aspect of it, how nobody really cares about evangelism, and there's just so much you can do with this. You ever been to Crow's East, one of my favorite restaurants in Green Bay, and you get the cheeseburgers and you pick that thing up, it's just dripping with butter. Oh, it's a heart attack on the bun, but it's just dripping. That's what this show is like. It's just dripping with story. There's so much you can do with it. I know I'm only just scratching the surface, and I had a lot of ideas before, but of course, as always, when I'm on my phone being recorded, I kind of freeze up a little bit. But even though I'm kind of iffy about recommending that show, Roman and George, check it out. Just dismiss the fact that the lead character, and if you're familiar with Living Waters for a long time, you will recognize him. He's been in a lot of stuff. That's probably why they pulled that video, I'm thinking. I mean, technically the video still exists because I had a link for it once on my Facebook on this day thing, and you go back and you see the post you made on a certain day. I had a link for that, and I went to it, and it said that the video was private. So it wasn't deleted, but it must have been set on like private. So it's out there. Anyway, yeah, this should be something like that out there. Something about evangelism. I mean, I know Ray Cufflin's got his stuff out there, but I'm talking about like a dramatized show. Good actors, great talent, awesome story, awesome characters. That is what should be being made out there. Showing how to evangelize and getting real. And again, make it relatable to the nobody, as we all are, right? It's not the person who's an eloquent speaker. It's for the idiot loser who can't talk very well like me, who freezes up all the time. Show different aspects of just giving out gospel, of evangelism, like giving out gospel tracts. Open air, even go there, open air. All the weird stuff that can happen with that. There's people think open air, they think of the worst stuff they've seen online, and therefore all open air is bad. No, I'm a huge proponent of open air when it's done right, but have heart. You have to have heart when you do open air, and that's what you got to have in the show. Display great preaching, but then the nobody, the character that we're following, insert name and insert name. All right, I didn't want to scare those people as I was coming up behind them. What was I saying? Yeah, make it relatable. But yeah, as they're learning how to, do different things of evangelism, even handle gospel tracts, or, all the funny things that me and Luke have done, like going door to door. There's some funny stuff there. All these different ideas we have. We're just passionate about getting the gospel out. But we make mistakes. Have the characters make mistakes. Even doing open air, have some hilarious stuff. But have, follow up on different side characters and what's going on and all these outreaches. And then still being committed to your family and church life and all the just different things that can happen, just being a Christian in general, trying to navigate through those waters. There's just so much you can do. And I wish, guys, that there was a story like that, a show like that, and to get people motivated into evangelism. And that's what I hope to do on this channel. I really hope that, nobody like me, guys, I am under, what's the word I'm looking for? I used to say it all the time. I can't think of it, but I'm under no illusions that I am a nobody, right? My videos are not that great. There's no quality to them. I'm using my cell phone, for crying out loud. That's my technology. I have no editing skills, basically. If I had people to get behind me, to help me a little bit, I always have computer problems and blah, blah, blah. I can go on and on. I'm a nobody. But I hope that with a little bit I can do, I can just be that little spark to get people fired up in evangelism, just to take those little baby steps. If that's all I can do, then mission accomplished. That's what I hope a show like this would do, since those Christian producers who are high up there, high ranking, are going to be watching this. Make a show like that. Get good people behind it, though. I'm talking like good theological people, real good. I've got my list of names of people who I think could contribute a lot. Fly Ray Comfort in too. Have his stamp of approval in on it as well, and his expertise in his area, and he can contribute some stuff too. Maybe he can make a cameo. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. Oh man, there's just so much you can do with this. All right, I'm gonna stop here. I'm at 90 miles right now, almost 90.1. Biking a lot slower right now, obviously, so I don't have a bunch of wind and I can talk and not huff and puff. In the morning, it's a lot different of a story. I'm actually bike racing to work. 7.77 miles almost every day because I wake up late, I leave pretty late, and I got a bike race, and there's always a headwind. Hey, that's always fun, but I love it. I love biking. I don't look forward to the cold weather that's coming pretty quick. So guys, what do you think? And if you have any Christian filmmakers or, big wigs, high profile people that you got them on speed dial, give them a call, show them this video. Anyway, I hope this is a little bit of fun, just something to think about. Just play with in your mind. I'm thinking about stuff like this all day, like every day. I think about all kinds of ideas of how we can get the gospel out there, make an impact, and get people fired up about sharing the gospel. That's really not emphasized. Definitely not in church. I mean, don't get me on that rant right now. It's just not talked about. It's very sadly, extraordinarily sadly. Anyway, I babbled on long enough, guys. Let me know what you think. God bless.